Hey, good morning, Central. It's Andy. Thanks for tuning in with us. It's a pleasure to spend our morning together, open up the Word of God. I'm going to be in John chapter 18, looking at part of the text of Pilate and Jesus talking to each other. Hey, have you ever done something so entertained by something, so enthralled by something that you forgot entirely what you were doing? You forgot the most important thing about whatever it was you were doing. Back in high school, when I was a freshman, I did this for band one year. My friend Miles and we had a lot of fun playing this card game, which is a deck of cards called ERS. A lot of fun, kind of like Slapjack, where it's really intense, a lot of focus, and you have to really pay attention to win. And really my whole band was playing, but Miles and I were sort of heading it up with a little group. And we were on this band trip, and we were going to go march in this competition. So you drive an hour and a half to get there with all the buses, you get out, you march, and then you go back. A really important day. In fact, if I remember correctly, we were actually missing school that day so we could go on this band trip together. And I was so excited. We all met in the band room early that morning. We got on the buses. We played this card game all the way to this competition. And it was time to get off the bus. And so I had to shift my mind away from this card game. And to my horror, I bent underneath my chair, my little stool, to get my trumpet. And I realized that I had forgot my trumpet all the way back in my band room. Here we are 30 minutes from starting this band competition. I'm one of the 5 or 6 trumpet players. I'm one of the parts that has part of a solo in this song, and I don't have my trumpet with me. I was so distracted by playing this card game with all of our friends, and I was having so much fun that it just completely escaped my mind to have my trumpet. Now, I made sure to have the cards with me on the school bus. See, that was important to me. That was immediately in front of me. That was immediately affecting me. I wanted to make sure I was doing that. But all the way to this band trip and competition, it never occurred to me to think about having my trumpet with me. Like it wouldn't matter once we got there. See, I was too enthralled by having fun, too distracted by something that ultimately missed the point of me being there. Oftentimes in the Christian experience, Christians who are going to church on Sunday, Christians who have been in church for a long time, maybe even all their life, maybe even brought up in the church, if we're not careful, we can focus in on something that really is just a side issue to what we're really on our way to do, what we're really about doing. I want to read for you a text from John chapter 18. This is Pilate and Jesus speaking, mostly Pilate talking in this chapter at least. And I want you to just pay attention to what might have been distracting Pilate from missing what was right in front of him. So this is from John chapter 18, and I'm going to start in verse 33. Pilate then went back to his headquarters and summoned Jesus. "Are you the king of the Jews?" he asked. And Jesus said, "Is that your own idea, or have others suggested it to you?" "What? Am I a Jew?" said Pilate. "Your own nation and their chief priests have brought you before me. What have you done?" Jesus replied. "My kingdom does not belong to this world. If it did, my followers would be fighting to save me from the arrest. My kingly authority comes from elsewhere." "You are a king then," said Pilate. "King is your word. My task is to bear witness to the truth. For this I was born, and this I came into the world, and all who are not deaf to truth listen to my voice." Pilate said, "What is truth?" I'll give you some context about why Pilate was so distracted during this time. See, for Pilate, what was immediately in front of him was the fact that if he didn't keep peace in Judea, if he didn't prevent riots, if he didn't make the Jews submit, if there were riots, he might lose his life, might lose his job. He's conflicted. And right in front of him, as this almost screaming, silent reminder, is the truth that if he doesn't do his job right, his life may be at stake. And oftentimes it's quite similar to us. See, we're thrown into this world with so many things that demand our attention. We're buying into a new job where our family, it seems like, is falling apart. We have to eat today, we have to eat tomorrow. We don't know how school's going to work with COVID anymore. We don't always know exactly how church is going to work anymore. When we get so distracted from exactly what matters most, our relationship and devotion to God. So here's my encouragement for us today. Let's not miss the point on our way to heaven. Even when we all start meeting back together, different distractions are going to be there for us. We can become so enthralled to make sure that we have the songs that we wanted sung. We can become so enthralled that people are behaving the way we want them to behave. We can become so enthralled that people are doing what we want them to do. And if we're not careful, just like me going on my band trip, we can be too focused on having fun in the wrong way even. So this is my encouragement for us today. Let us not be distracted from the thing that is most important. But like a man who discovers a pearl in a plot of land, we sell everything we have so we can buy this land and obtain that pearl. A man who is willing to give up everything they have for the kingdom of heaven. Because whatever distracts us from our goal, however beneficial it may seem to this world, ought to be seen as dangerous. Church, thank you for tuning in with us, and thanks for looking at the Gospel of John. So I want to remind you, on our way to heaven, on our way to God, don't lose track of what matters most, but keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. Have a blessed day, church, and may the Lord protect you.